It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 19th day of May, 2020. Coming to you from Bedford County in Virginia, Central Virginia, right near Lynchburg, on a rainy, yucky, crappy day. It's been raining all night. There's some yesterday, all night. It's going to rain for a couple days as we're getting a combination of northeastern coming through this way, combined with a little bit of the outer bands of Arthur as it took off and went out toward the center of the ocean. So getting some rain here in Central Virginia and cooler weather after we've had some really gorgeous weather. It's in the 50s again today. It's going to be that way for a couple days before it starts warming up again. So anyway, you probably noticed that before I went live and clicked on the background, I'll click it off a second so you can see that again. We have the COVID kitties, that's Cottonelle and Charmin, that are watching the proceedings, along with Tina Turtle. That's, of course, Tina Turtle over my shoulder. She keeps track of things as well. If you're new to this channel, welcome aboard. And after, we went through a couple weeks there of where my subscriber count was virtually steady. We'd lose some one day and we'd gain a couple back, but overall it stayed steady for a couple of weeks, and that's I don't know. YouTube does something screwy with that every now and then. They purge your accounts, or I don't know. But anyway, we've started kicking up again, so we're up to 1,976, I think it was this morning. So we're closing in on the 2,000 subscriber count again. Thank goodness. Heading that direction at least. So if you're new, welcome aboard. We do this every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And of course, anything major happens in the world of travel and cruising, I'll go live immediately or post a video. In addition, we regularly post videos in all facets of the travel and cruise industry, including some interviews shows called Chillie Chats. So if you have not done so, we'd appreciate if you subscribe down in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll know when we go live or when a new video is posted. And as always, we appreciate a thumbs up, or you can give us a thumbs down too. But it tells YouTube you like what's going on. So, couple things to cover this morning. For once, and it's been a while, doing travel and cruise industry news lately has been pretty depressing. Most everything I say has been down and awful. Well, this is a little bit more of a feel good kind of story today, and I'm tickled pink to have it. The Bahamas government says it's looking at the possibility of allowing commercial travel on or before July the 1st. They did, however, insist that the date was not final and would depend on the current state of COVID-19. The Bahamas so far has recorded 96 positive cases of the virus. That, of course, was first started off in China and then went to Europe, and this clobbered our country here in the States. The Bahamas to date has recorded 11 deaths, but over the past 4 days, the chain of island has not recorded any new cases at all. Now, the resorts, airports, and seaports are finalizing the health and safety protocols that will be necessary to provide for a reopening of commercial travel, taking into account what is being done within the region and around the world. These extensive guidelines will be designed to provide for a reasonable assurance that travel and leisure are generally safe any such reopening to commercial scale traffic will also depend on the ongoing stabilization of COVID-19 elsewhere in the region. Now, the interesting thing about this, folks, this is good news. This is the first positive news we've had. I've said all along, you guys know my feelings about what's going to happen with cruises anytime soon. And I hope to goodness that you guys can all tell me I was nuts and totally wrong. I would love it if that's the case. This is good news, people, because even if it's not to cruise traffic yet, although they're looking at that as a whole, if they open it up to air traffic into the Bahamas, which means that's opening some of their resorts and so forth, the cruise ships are liable to follow suit. Now, keep in mind also that cruises that sail from any United States port, because of those silly laws that we've talked about before, have to land someplace outside the United States. And the Bahamas obviously is one of the landing spots. So this is a good sign of things, even if other places in the Caribbean are not following suit. And of course, we still don't know what's going to happen in the United States. We still don't know what's going to happen with the opening of the economy, although surprisingly, so far, it seems to be doing better than I expected it would, especially someplace like Georgia, for instance, that I thought they were way too early and weren't anywhere near number-wise ready to do this, and yet things are looking pretty good so far with the numbers in Georgia. A couple of other places aren't quite as good, but still overall, it's going better than I thought it would. So I know our friend Tom Henry still has a July the 3rd, I think it is. I haven't checked over in the chat box yet, but Tom has a cruise there in the first week of July, Royal Caribbean cruise, that's supposed to stop in the Bahamas. And man, that's not saying, Tom, that you're going to be going on that cruise, but boy, that certainly is. That's one of the check boxes that you could check off before they could actually sail that cruise, is having a place to go. That's been one of the problems all along with the cruise ships is the ports shutting down. So I'm tickled. This is good, positive, awesome news. Got a couple other things. I'll be back in a second. Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scootaround. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scootaround for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise. Okay, so one of the things that is also kind of interesting to point out, the Royal Caribbean, speaking of Royal Caribbean, that is a construction photograph that was released yesterday on the Odyssey of the Seas, which is Royal Caribbean's new ship. It's a construction project going on at Meyer Werft shipyard in Papenburg, Germany. The construction is in hull number 6, it's called. In the last couple of weeks, Royal Caribbean has warned that the Odyssey's scheduled debut later this year could be delayed due to the health crisis impacting the shipyard operations. And it's coming right along. Now, I don't know how they're doing schedule-wise, if they're ahead or behind, but it's starting to look like a cruise ship. So that's a good sign also. From over there at Meyer Werft, which is one of those words I have trouble with. Okay. We mentioned last Saturday, I guess it was, the Allure of the Seas, was, maybe it was last week one day. Anyway, one of the shows recently, obviously the current health situation has had a major stumbling block to the construction and refurbishment schedules. We talked about Allure of the Seas, and if you remember, much of the major refurbishment was trimmed and the work was being limited to technical and navigational upgrades only, and it was expected to take about 30 days, and that's currently going on. There are a couple other major changes in the refurbishment schedule worth mentioning. The Celebrity Constellation was due to head into dry dock in April for a total overhaul of the ship's passenger staterooms, which were to be stripped to the steel and completely redesigned. The massive refurbishment project has been put on hold. New timing for the work to proceed is still being discussed. And like the Constellation, Celebrity Infinity's major overhaul has also been put on hold. Celebrity is currently assessing when the work can be completed, but has yet to announce new dates for it to proceed. And the Explorer of the Seas had a $100 million refit scheduled for later in the year. That one has been totally put on hold now, the complete dry dock, and Royal Caribbean is at this time reviewing options. So whether or not they're going to go ahead with the plans or change plans altogether, have no idea yet. And one other thing, that's another view of the Cottonelle and Charmin, who now are ruling this household heavily. So let's go over and check on chat, since I haven't even been over there this morning. And I do want to point out one other thing before we start running down the chats here, guys. I'm going to start something new, and it's going to affect a lot of you guys that are regular here that I have contact with outside the show, usually through my Facebook group or through chats that we've done, or some of you follow my Facebook, the Chillie Cruises Facebook page. But I am going to start a little feature where I'm going to contact you off, when I'm not on the air, get a hold of some of you guys and get you to just follow a link back. And I'm going to do a quick, like a minute, 2-minute videotape. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite cruise ship or your favorite cruise? And why? And then I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite port of call? And I want, just a brief little and honest little answer on whatever you think. And I'm going to use that as little clips, not only on this show, but probably at some point in time, I will put a bunch of them together and make a collage of into a videotape on folks that, what cruises you like and what cruises, what ports of call you like. And it's to keep people positively thinking about the cruises. I get so depressed talking about the negative crap all the time that I just thought that'd be healthy for all of us. So I'm going to start doing that. So some of you guys that I talk to over and above this broadcast, like Tom and Bonnie and Jason, and some of you guys, Pete, of course, and John up in Minnesota, I will be contacting you and taping a little clip and start using those on another show. And then some of you that I don't have direct contact with, I have to figure out how to make direct contact with you. So we'll see. Those of you that are not on Facebook or whatever with me. So I'll come up with ways of contacting because I need to have some contact with you to send the link. So you can click back in and I can tape it and use it. So that's that. Sorry about that. I had a tickle in my throat. All right, let's see what we got here. Excuse me. July the 3rd, Mariner of the Seas is going to Coco Cay and Nassau. Yeah. But will Royal Caribbean get around to canceling? Tom, we have both thought that was going to get canceled. Well, I don't know. I mean, they have not canceled for a reason. That's getting late. So let's see. Yeah, maybe you'll be going on that one. Who knows? Tom says, good morning to everybody. Gretchen says, good morning to everybody. Amy's popped in. Hey, Amy, how you doing? Good morning to you also. Pete's in from over in the UK. Good morning, Pete. Pete says it's another sunny blue sky day in the UK in the 80s. Yeah, boy, I wish I had that today because it's rainy, cold, and crappy here. Tom says hello to Amy and Pete. Gretchen wishes she was in London. But those of you, if you guys missed it Sunday, we had another great show on Cruises for Solos. I co-host a show with Pete from London and John from up in Minnesota. Another fabulous show Sunday. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. We had a good time. Jason pops in from Pittsburgh. Hey, Jason, how you doing? Is Emma really here? No, Emma's not here. I was Tom wishing, I think. It was a proactive welcome, Tom says. Let's see. Jason says my cruise in October will probably be modified to sail to the Bahamas and Half Moon Key. You know what? I said there's a lot better likelihood of that right now than I thought. I really did. I've been thinking we wouldn't see any cruises for the whole year. And it might happen that way. I mean, it still might happen that way because we're not ready to cruise in this country yet. But I mean, there's things happening like, who was it? Delta, one of the airlines this morning said they're expanding or reopening some flights that they have canceled off. And one of them was to Canada. Well, I didn't think Canada would let anything come in from the United States right now, but apparently there's soon going to be some air flights going back and forth from the States to Canada. It's another good sign, at least. Gretchen says she feels robbed. Hope to get there soon. Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel that way about Alaska, too. I should be today washing clothes from my Alaska cruise and, trying to get warm from being cold up there and icebergs and stuff. So, yeah, well, I missed out a lot this year, guys. Tom says Bruce's February group cruise is on the Odyssey. Yeah, I knew that. I didn't really seriously look at going on that one, but maybe affecting his trip. He is to join us on a 4-day Mariner cruise prior to the group cruise. Oh, that's cool. He's if you don't know, Bruce, Traveling with Bruce has got a group cruise scheduled on Odyssey of the Seas. A big group. He's got a big following and has done a fabulous job with his group over there. So anyway, that's on the Odyssey. I don't know how their schedule is coming along, but it's looking good. It's looking like a ship. So Pete sadly just canceled my epic transatlantic for November. Yeah, well, Pete, you got complicating problems over there because you don't know what what your situation is going to be in Europe any more than we know in the States. So tough situation. Tom says my tea leaves make me feel Royal Caribbean cash is worse than NCL. Wondering how long the refund will take on my July 3rd when they do cancel. I suspect they're dragging their feet about cancellations as a result. Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one right now. I haven't gotten any of the money that I actually was getting back from the airlines for the Alaska cruise. Scoot Around owes me a big hunk of money that I went on and requested a refund. Of course, I had the screw up with Norwegian, so I'm not going to get the refund with Norwegian. But yeah, they're being a little slow on that so far. Word is that NCL to cancel July tomorrow. Okay, I had not heard that, Tom. Good to hear that. Sounds like a great plan for videos. Thank you, Tom. Emily's here. Good morning, Emily. I was going to use Emily as an excuse. She asked how Cottonelle and Charmin is. So let me do this real quick, Emily. Let me think. Where is it? It's over here. I've got it here, and there is Cottonelle and Charmin for Emily. They're doing good, Em. And Emily's a great person on my planned attack here on getting little clips of comments on your favorite cruise and your favorite cruise port. Emily's only been on one cruise. So, and Emily's one that's on my list because I can directly contact her. And Emily is, so when I ask her, I'll say, hey, what was your favorite cruise or your favorite cruise ship? Well, I know that she's only been on one, so that's going to be her favorite ship. Well, that's okay. That's still, it's from her cruising experience, that's her favorite ship. And one of the ports of call will be her favorite port. Well, because, what might be my favorite port, I might have the same favorite port that she has, even though I've been to, 500 ports. So I just think it would be fun to do and keep us all thinking positively about cruising. So, Tom says my next NCL is on the Encore, August 30th to Bermuda. Norwegian told him they stopped taking dining reservations through the end of the year. Ooh, that's kind of a hint. That was my thinking. That's been my thinking, is that we wouldn't see cruises at all this year. But interesting that they're not taking dinner reservations. Emily's here. She must have heard me saying hi. Oh, yeah. Tom said hi to you earlier, Emily. Sunny weather and windy, 65 degrees in New York. Oh, we're about 55 here now and pouring down rain. Been raining hard. We got flood warnings and all that garbage going on now. We just need to get John to turn off his phone ringer. Yeah, that was kind of funny. And he couldn't find it to turn it off. Bonnie's head hurts too much without extra rings. Yeah. Absolutely, Tom. I think he's phoning himself. That's Pete says that one. Poor Bruce lost access to his what? Jason said Bruce lost access to his YouTube channel. How did he do that? Bruce accepted an invitation to join us at the Port Canaveral timeshare and then cruise. We have 2-bedroom half suite booked. That's nice. Tom Henry says, very weird, Jason, since the phone and iPad still have access. Who knows? So Emily says, thank you, Chillie, for the kittens, the kitties. 500 ports. Can you name them all? Wow. No. Hell, I can't name all the ships I've been on, Pete. I have no idea how many ports I've been to. I've been on 41, 42 cruises. So an average of 3 per cruise. And of course, I've been to several ports numerous times. So 40, probably, I got to been to over 100 ports of call for sure. Amy says, I was able to make dining reservations a couple of weeks ago for my Boston to Bermuda NCL cruise the last week of August. I do expect it to be canceled. I doubt cruises from the seasonal ports this year. Amy, that was my thinking until the deal came out with the Bahamas that I got information yesterday, which to me that's some terrific news. Now, who knows how long it's going to last? I wish there's still a ton of other things that got to go right for us to get back to cruising again. And then we got to get the public back to wanting to cruise again too. And that could be the hardest part of it all. If you are of the ilk that that I don't have direct contact with you guys someplace outside this channel, and that I don't regularly correspond with on Facebook or some other media, that's my email address that's going across the bottom of the screen. Drop me a line with your email address. I wouldn't ask you to do it publicly on a chat or anything. But if you'd like to participate in our little program of what's your favorite cruise or cruise ship and your favorite port of call, drop me an email with your email in it, and I will get in touch with you and set up a time to do a minute or 2 minute little clip. The rest of you guys that know me personally, I'll be getting a hold of you. We'll get it done pretty soon. So that's about it for this morning. I'd like to thank everybody for being with me. This is, of course, our Tuesday morning show. Yeah, Tuesday. I'll be back on Thursday or between now and then if anything major happens. So one other thing before I leave this morning that I must tell you that, first it was alcohol kills COVID. Then it was heat may kill COVID. Now direct sunlight may kill COVID. So if you see me outside of my yard, drunk, naked, and laying in the sun, mind your own business. I'm conducting important medical experiments. And that's the truth. I'll see you guys next time. Be good. Be good to each other. Stay safe. Wear your mask, folks. We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Thank you for watching today's Travel and Cruise Industry News. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.